Hey, what's going on, guys? So the All Japan Model and Hobby Show is going on there in Tokyo, so we've got a bunch of new announcements here to talk about. In today's video, I'm going to talk about all the stuff that we saw there from Bandai, and I guess I should put an asterisk on that. Not all of the stuff from Bandai, basically all the stuff that really stood out to me, a lot of the new Gunpla announcements, and then some of the other stuff that we saw from Bandai. So it's not going to be completely comprehensive of everything. You guys can go online and check out everything that they had there, but we'll go through most of the kind of major things in today's video. In the next video, I'll do a separate video on kind of everything else other than Bandai, so that'll cover, Kotobukiya, Wave, Hasegawa, Max Factory, Aoshima, all the other companies, because there was a lot of other really cool stuff too. So do make sure to watch that video, because usually when I do these type of videos, everybody watches the Bandai one, and much less so for the other one, but these other companies make a lot of really cool stuff, so do make sure you check out that video coming up next as well. Other thing that I just want to say before we get into the video is that coming up at the beginning of November 1st and 2nd, I'm going to be there in Puerto Rico for the Portal Experience convention there. And not only am I going to be there as a guest judge for the Mecha Model competition, but I'll also be doing a Q&A on Saturday at 11 a.m. and on Sunday at 11 a.m. a weathering demonstration. So if you guys are in Puerto Rico and not already aware of the Portal Experience convention that's very quickly coming up, you can check out the website for more information on that. But let's go ahead and get into the news here from Bandai. So they teased with this very short, 2-second video, a new Master Grade announcement that they were going to have here. And I think people pretty quickly kind of came to the conclusion that, just based on the little teaser video, that it was probably something from Seed Freedom based on the kind of the color scheme that they had going on there, and with the slash there. Kind of assumed that it was probably going to be something like maybe the Astray, which is what it ultimately ended up being. But I also kind of thought, it might be the Mighty Strike Freedom, because the Mighty Strike Freedom does have that sword as well. It's kind of like a main feature of that Gundam design. And so I thought, maybe that's what it's going to end up being that would make for a good MG. But yes, in fact, it is another Astray. So the Astray Red Frame is from the Seed Freedom Astray series. This is going to be coming out. And so a lot of the reaction that I've seen online has not been good for this. So a lot of people don't really seem too excited about yet another Astray, which is understandable. These kind of reactions do kind of tend to happen. I think ultimately once the kit comes out, a lot of people are going to have, that FOMO is going to kick in, and a lot of people are going to want to buy it regardless. So it's not going to have any trouble selling, I think, once it actually comes out. But at least the initial reaction is just kind of one of, it's another Astray once again. So it does look like it is an entirely new mold, I think. So that's kind of cool. At least it's a new kit. It's not like just building the exact same Astray again. It is another Astray, in its design and in its name, but at least it's an all new mold for this one. So it's a new MG of that. And so far all we've seen is just kind of the main body. We haven't seen anything else that it's going to come with. So this is going to be coming out sometime later next year in 2026. And there will surely be more to see about we don't even have it in color. We kind of know what the colors are going to be, but we don't know what the colors of the kit are going to look like exactly and everything. So I think, even though the initial reaction may not be too hype, I think as we see more about it and, kind of later on, more closer to when it's coming out, I think, people will kind of maybe begrudgingly so start to get more excited about this. But it is unfortunate that it wasn't something more newer or interesting or something more unique. It is another Astray, which we do have a lot of. But yeah, that's ultimately what that ended up being. But there was a lot of other really cool Gunpla exciting announcements here, like the fact that we are going to be getting an HG G-Quax Hamrabi kit. This is one that I would not have expected. It's a really cool design, and I am really happy about this. And if you showed me all the different mobile suit designs that appeared in the G-Quax series and told me to pick my top 3 that I would want model kits of, the Hamrabi definitely would have been on there, if not number 1. It would definitely would have been in the top 3. So this is one that I'm really looking forward to. It's a super cool design. I really like this one a lot, and so definitely looking forward to that kit. That's going to be coming out in next June. It's a really far off release date. Last I thought that we were going on Bandai release dates for February, March, April, maybe that time period, but the fact that this isn't coming out until June, it's a long way off. So that's unfortunate, and so it's going to be a long wait for that guy. But that does then make me believe, because I also didn't think that we were really going to get too much from G-Quax. I thought, the next couple of kits that we're going to be getting might be kind of about it, but the fact that we're getting the Hamrabi makes me think that You know, what else could we get from this series? I'm not sure. What else would you guys like to see? Let me know in the comments. I'm sure it's going to be a lot of Psycho Gundam, but you guys let me know what other designs you would like to see. I know that I guess it was like barely seen for a split second of like the Zoc. That would be a really cool one though, I think as well. But anyway, those are kind of like the really only like main new non-exclusive things. We did see stuff like the new HG Gustav Karl that's coming out, the Master Grade Full Armor Double Zeta Verka. We saw that in full color now. So, I mean, we kind of already knew what that was going to look like anyway, but we saw the full color prototype of that. That looks really cool. But then, of course, yes, we did have a lot of P Bandai stuff here and some pretty cool things, including like the P Bandai Master Grade Gundam Barbatos Lupus parts set that's going to be coming out. This is going to have the big Helmut Rank car, like big, huge, massive sword, and then some cool effect parts for that, for the eyes and the shoulder. So that'll be really cool to kind of recreate the scene when it's fighting against the what was it called? That mobile armor that the name is escaping me at the moment. But yes, the classic scene after it gets its arm cut off there in the anime. And I'm not sure what the arm part, it's kind of hard to see from the photos that I saw what the like cut off arm part is going to look like. I hope it's not just like just remove the arm. Hopefully there's like a damaged little part there that you put in there, like in place of like the arm socket for the kit to make it look a little bit better. That's what I'm assuming it's going to be, but it's, you know, it's kind of hard to tell from the photos. They also had this little shadow box teaser here for another P Bandai item. It looks like it's probably just another option part set for the Barbatos Lupus, basically giving you some of the like the different armaments that go like on the back of the arm, and maybe something else included in there. Basically like what we saw like with the HG like option part sets, but we're getting another option part set for the Barbatos Lupus. It looks like, just based on what we can see from that little teaser box. We did also have the P Bandai HG Strike Freedom Gundam Type 2 and Wing of Light sets going to be coming out. So this being the Strike Freedom Gundam Type 2, it's like an alternate, slightly different colors. And basically the main draw of this one is those new Wing of Light parts being in that new kind of clear iridescent plastic that Bandai's enjoying using these days for different effect parts for their HG kits in particular. And it does look really cool, so that looks nice. There's also going to be a Gundam Base exclusive, so not a P Bandai, but eventually, if and when we get it here in the US, it'll be on the P Bandai site, but it's a Gundam Base exclusive of the HG Gyaradoga, the heavy gun type. This is something that like over the years, I've seen a lot of people, you know, either scratch build this, or there's also been like resin kits that have come out of this. I have a 3D printed resin kit here for that in 1/44 scale. But now you're finally going to be able to get it as an actual plastic model kit, which is cool. So that'll be coming out. I'm really hoping to get my hands on that because I do really like the look of that one. Like I said, even though I do have the resin kit, that Gyaradoga kit would be nice too. So looking forward to that. There's also going to be the P Bandai HG Gundam F91 Afterimage clear color kit. So it's just like a clear color version of the HG F91. Pretty simple. And then one I think that is also getting a lot of people excited online is also the P Bandai HG Gundam Sandrock Custom EW. This one is exciting for a couple of reasons. It's Gundam Wing. There's a lot of Gundam Wing fans. There's a lot of Sandrock fans out there. It looks really great, and the model kit looks really, really nice. But I think, you know, just as much as people are excited for the Sandrock Custom, they're also excited for what that means for future releases. So this looks like this is probably going to be the first of a probably series of Endless Waltz HG Gundam kits that we're going to be getting, I would assume. So this one, and we'll get the Heavy Arms Custom, we'll get Ultron, the Wing Zero, the Death Scythe Hell Custom, yes. So these HG kits originally came out around the end of the 90s, the original HG series Endless Waltz kits, and they're not great. They don't hold up super well. Oh, and also the Telkis 3 would be another one that I think a lot of people would like a new, nice, new HG version of that as well. And then even more so than just the Gundams, I mean, it would be really cool to see like an HG Serpent or HG like Virgo 2, stuff like that. Some like the enemy grunt mobile suits would be awesome to see, like some nice new HG model kits of those as well. So like we've seen kind of recently with Bandai doing like the G Gundam HG kits, like all as P Bandai releases. We still don't have the Bolt yet. That one's still yet to come out, probably next year, the Bolt Gundam. But it looks like they're also going to be doing the Endless Waltz series HG kits of Gundams as well. So the Sandrock being the first, and it does look really good. And it's probably my favorite version of the Sandrock, and even has like the big cloak parts and everything. So definitely looking forward to that. That one will be cool. Then last P Bandai Gundam thing here was the HG Red Gundam parts set. This is also something not surprising at all. I'm surprised that they waited this long to put it out, that this didn't come out like months ago already, but it's just basically part sets for the Red Gundam. Gives you the bazooka, like a cool like blast, like shooting effect part for the beam rifle, and then of course more of the funnels to be able to attach onto that. So that looks nice. Last thing so now I want to get into, that's all the Gundam stuff. Now any like non-Gundam Bandai stuff. There is another P Bandai item too that I actually thought looks really kind of cool from Zabungle, actually, is the HG Dran type. I'm not really familiar with Zabungle at all. I don't think that I've even ever built any of the kits. Most of them are quite old, but this one is going to be a new HG they're coming out with. Looks like some sort of like transport. Again, I don't know anything about Zabungle, but it looks cool. I don't know, looking at that, I think that it'd be really a fun kit to paint. So actually really thinking about that I might try to get my hands on that one if we get that on the P Bandai US website, although I'm not entirely sure that we will, but hopefully we will, and I'll consider getting it if we do, but that looks cool. We did have the HG Brutish dog that's going to be coming out, again, because it's sort of not very surprising in Bandai's HG Voltam series of model kits, but it's nice that it's not going to be P Bandai. That's good. But so the Brutish dog is a cool design. I've built a couple different versions of the Brutish dog, like from Wave, but it'll be cool building Bandai's HG in comparison. They also had a new HG Kerobo there from Kero? Sergeant Frog, anyway, you guys might know it as, but this is going to be coming out in June as well, way far off for 2,600 yen. There was also a lot of like One Piece, Battleship Yamato, Macross stuff. Like I said, there's a lot of other stuff that I'm not going to cover all in this video here today. You can check all that out. I just thought the HG Kero Robo would be cool to mention to you guys. Also in Pokepla news, so they have the Flareon Pokepla Quick model kit that's coming out. This is not new at all. I talked about it before, and I talked about how I kind of wasn't that impressed with like how it looks and the pose of it and everything, but just wanted to point out that they did also have at the event here like teasers for also Jolteon and Flareon model kits that are going to be coming out. Hopefully the pose on those, and they just kind of will look better. But they had like a kind of they had the prototypes there, but it was like a little hole thing that you could look through like to see them, but you weren't supposed to take photos there. So like Dengeki had this photo where you can kind of like see through the hole a little bit. They like kind of had like a sneaky photo there, but you weren't supposed to like put your camera like right up to the hole to see. So I'm interested to see what those are going to look like. You know, the evolutions are always really cool, so hopefully they look better than the Flareon kit. And last thing, I don't really talk a whole lot about candy toys usually, but I know there's a lot of Armored Core fans out there, and this is something that's so like over the top. I had to mention about this. So the SMP, which is Bandai's Shokugan modeling project, it's technically candy toys, but they're like very expensive, super expensive. But there's Armored Core 6 Baltius, I think is the name of this, and I could be wrong. I've not played the game or know anything about it, but this massive unit there that has this huge equipment on it. So this thing I'm sure is going to be like $200 or something crazy, really expensive, and it's not a model kit, just like a figure, sort of, basically, is kind of how these are. So not something that I think I'm going to be too interested in, but I figured some of you guys might be interested in that. It's pretty impressive looking for sure. Something that I think is also really cool is that they're coming out with like a little Converge style, little like super deformed figures, also from Armored Core 6. That those are going to be coming out. They're not called Converge, they were called something else, but there's 4 of those that are going to be coming out in at least like the first wave of those. Who knows if they're going to do more than one wave. Usually they do like multiple volumes of these. Like they have Converge, of course, for Gundam, and they also have like Dragon Ball series ones and Kamen Rider and others as well. I mean, they have these different series of basically very similar sort of, you know, chibi SD sort of proportions from their different properties and stuff. So yeah, those Armored Core ones do look really cool. And that's about it for everything that I wanted to talk about in this video. The Gunpla stuff, there was some interesting things, some disappointing things, I think, and as is the case as of late, a lot of premium Bandai things, unfortunately. But I gotta say, probably the thing that I'm looking forward to the most is the Hammurabi. It's not P Bandai, it's a super cool design, and I think that one will be a lot of fun, but it's a long ways off, so gonna have to wait for that. But there's a lot of other stuff cool coming out in between. So as always, guys, you can check everything out on the link in the video description to USA Gundam Store. I think a lot of this stuff like is P Bandai, so it's obviously not going to be on the website, but anything that's not P Bandai, if it's not on the website already, it will be on the website soon. So make sure to check on there. If you want to pre-order anything, check on the website to pre-order for this stuff that's going to be coming out next year and everything that's going to be coming out this year, and everything else is available on the website. Check it out. But as always, guys, thanks so much for all of your support. And like I said, stay tuned for the next video. We're going to be going over everything from Kotobukiya and all the other companies there at the All Japan Hobby and Model Show for 2025. I'll see you guys then. Later.